Thanks for watching, folks. Around America we go, and this time we're going to stop in Northern California, Richmond, California to be precise. Tom Butt joins us from the East Brother Light Station. Thank you, Tom, for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Perhaps some of you have heard about this story, perhaps some of you have not, but they are looking for a pair of lighthouse keepers, correct, to live on the light station on an island just off of Richmond, California. Am I nailing that one?
Well, it's really an innkeeping job.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main part of it.
All right, so you were looking for a pair of people because it's a two-person job. $130,000 a year is the salary, correct?
Well, that's what it has been the last couple of years, but it's the salary's based on the level of occupancy. So when the occupancy's high, the salary's higher, and if we had a recession and it went down, it'd be lower. But
right.
That's kind of a fair projection based on what we know now.
Yeah, the East Brother Light Station is a bed and breakfast. So tell me, what is involved in this job?
All right, say again?
What is involved in this job? Because it is also a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, well, it's open 4 days a week, Thursday through Sunday. It has 5 rooms, so typically if we're totally full, we'll have 10 guests. And the experience includes the boat ride over and back, and it includes dinner, bed, and breakfast. Plus a lot of a history talk and demonstration of the historic foghorns and things like that. Yeah,
what goes on the island?
Wait, say again?
What do people have to do on the island when they're there?
Well, there's the visitors typically are picked up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they go to the island and they get a tour of the island, and they have hors d'oeuvres and champagne, and by the time they get through all that, it's time for dinner, so they have dinner, and that pretty well takes care of the first day. And then the next day, they get up and have breakfast, and they demonstrate the foghorn, and by about 11 o'clock, it's time to take people in.
Now, before we started the interview, you mentioned that this is kind of a stressful job. What is stressful about this?
Well, it's hard work. It's they're entertaining guests 4 nights a week, so by the time they take the guests in for one day, they got to go back and clean everything up, make the beds, and start working on the meal for the next day. So it's constant work for. And then the days they're off, they've got to reprovision. They've got to go wash the linens and stock up on food and so forth. So it's it's a pretty I wouldn't necessarily say it's stress. It's constant.
Right. I would assume that weather plays a big part, because I know a little bit about Northern California weather, and it can get a little tricky at times.
Well, it can, but the island is only a quarter mile offshore. I would say maybe 1 or 2 days a year they have to cancel out because of weather. But other than that, they just put people in the boat and take them out.
All right, very quickly, Tom, hold up the book that you were showing me before we started. You have a book on the lighthouse and all the innkeepers who have participated.
Yeah, okay. So this is a book that was written originally in the early 1980s, and after a few years, it sold out. And we had always intended to update it and republish it. It finished it just this month. But it has what we've added in there are descriptions and experiences of the innkeeper lighthouse keepers starting in 1980 when we first opened. So this book is now available. I don't think you can get it anywhere except on the island, but it'll be available on Amazon and everything.
East Brother Light Station in Richmond, California. Thank you, Tom Butt, for your time. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for your interest.
Around America we go. This time it was in Northern California. For NewsNet, I'm Vic McCarty.